Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Grakowski, creator of the Better Brain Blueprint. Welcome to another edition of Master Mindset. Today we have a very special guest, Kyoshi Dave Kovar. He's not only a black belt in 10 different styles. We're going to have a conversation today about mastery. I know that we've had many conversations. He's been a friend for close to 28 years. He was my instructor in martial arts, but also a very good friend. Dave's a very humble guy, but just to share some facts about him, he's not only been an instructor for 37 years, he has over 400 schools that are using his system, not only in creating healthier schools, but better business. 25,000 students have gone through his martial arts schools that he has around the Northern California area, and about 3,400 of those students are black belts. Many instructors, 7 different countries. I know when I've spoke to many other instructors and owners of schools, they really know who Dave Kovar is. So he's going to share some of his strategies, insights, not only as far as martial arts, but about life, because he's an amazing guy in all areas of his life. So Dave, thanks for having you here today. I know you're a humble guy.
Well, thanks for that introduction.
Yeah, exactly. So
now you got to expect a lot out of me.
Exactly. You know, we're up here at your black belt retreat.
Right.
You do this, I don't know how many years you've done this.
This is our 4th year that we've taken our team, our key team members up for a weekend retreat. Yeah.
So we're up here in Northern California along the American River, a beautiful site here. So we wanted to have just a conversation to share some of Dave's strategies.
Okay.
So I know that we've known each other for many years, and just knowing you personally, a lot of people have certain strategies that they do, and they have this persona on the outside, but not necessarily the way they live their life. If you look at mastering just lifestyles, there's certain rituals or certain strategies that you do. I'd like you to share some of those.
So, you know, my experience has been the quality of your life is direct relationship with the quality of the habits and routines and rituals that you have in place. And if you analyze your day from dawn to dusk and you think, okay, what empowering habits do I have, right? What's my morning ritual, you know, then, you know, really you take care of the days and the years take care of themselves. So what I try to focus on is every day. So it's obviously, it's a work in progress. You never get it exactly right, but you're kind of striving. It's kind of like what Vince Lombardi says, you know, true perfection is unattainable. However, if you chase perfection, you'll catch excellence. So kind of what I try to do, I'm very guarded with my time. I'm very on purpose with, now on the weekends I might relax a little bit, not worry about it, but you know, I'm pretty methodical about when I get up, what I eat, what I read. I want to try to kind of control my environment to the best of my ability so I can kind of start my day at my best, because I know when I'm at my best, I interact better with everybody else.
Well, I know that, you know, we, for probably about 10 years, we were partners. We would work out in weightlifting, and we'd be there at 5 o'clock in the morning on task. You still are participating in that. I've changed a few things with my workout routine. Now, when you are creating a healthy business and healthy, you not only have instructors, but you have all these students. The thing that I appreciate you the most is what you're doing to impact our future generations and our kids. I know that you have programs about bowling.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about that strategy or some things.
So, you know, kind of one of the things is I teach martial arts, and people that do martial arts get it, and if people that don't, maybe I get that you don't get it, but really what it's about and why it's so powerful is we have a phrase, practice the fight so you don't have to. And what that means is that martial arts really does not create violent people. It creates, you know, actually in very few exceptions. And what happens is people, for so many reasons, first off, they get a chance to embrace their shadow. They get an outlet, right? Number 2 is when you're confident in your ability to defend yourself, you project different signals. So the average bad guy does not have an alternative plan, they have an alternative victim. So if we teach our child, it doesn't matter, they could be a 4-year-old kid or a 45-year-old, it doesn't matter. When they learn to become more confident, they just naturally are going to be less likely to be confronted. And so that's one of the benefits. The second thing is that, you know, you think of any issue that faces, let's say a child for a minute, obesity, we address it. Martial arts, focus, we address it, right? Maybe not having good role models, hopefully we address that, right? And so it's kind of like it does so much for so many people, and same with adults as well. And as far as the actual specific bullying, we have a program called Martial Arts Against Bullying, and it's a free service we give the industry. Actually, I have almost 900 schools throughout the world that are using the program. And what it is it's not just what to do if you're being bullied, but it's about empathy as well. So one of the models that we talk about is what we call buddying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is you know, the importance of being an upstander versus a bystander. If you see somebody else being bullied or teased, what can you do about it? And we're not talking about go up and hit them. We're talking about nonviolent, peaceful resolution, right? And why you wouldn't, because someone's got to be doing the bullying, right?
Yes.
So why you wouldn't want to be a bully, right? And so we use a lot of Socratic methods of drawing kids out through storytelling and whatnot to get people to kind of maybe look at their life. Are they that kid? What they can do better? And so that's for me. I've heard so many times, and I know it to be true in my life. Martial arts changed my life, and not just martial arts. Obviously, anything can do it, but having a mentor that you know people of all ages, but especially kids, they listen to people that they respect, right? And when you have that instructor-student relationship, that's sacred. And we try to get our instructors and other instructors to understand, hey man, the influence you have over somebody that looks up to you and respects you is massive. And so, for example, our ability to, you know, not count somebody out or to believe in them. So, you know, even there's a great quote, and I know I'm talking a lot here, but
no, it's good.
There's
Good stuff. You're on a roll.
There's a great quote, and it goes like this: "It's I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am." And basically what that means is, my teacher thinks I can do it, I guess I can do it. My dad believes in me, I must be okay. And so how important it is for us to you know, to believe in the people that we're mentoring. And so that's kind of our message through martial arts.
Well, I know last night there were such great testimonials from your black belt instructors of not only children that they've influenced, families that have changed their lives, and I know personally, my children have studied martial arts and did the black belt through your program, and it's the confidence and the. I remember one incident. My daughter was getting her junior black belt, and one of your instructors was doing something, and here's Heather at 10 years old, and she throws the instructor down to the ground, and I remember my wife going, yes, prevention, you know. So it's you feel confident, especially in today's world. There's such, you know, the non-violent approach in martial arts, you know, keep your treasure hidden in your pocket. So that's such a critical thing. You're not creating violence, you're actually proactively hedging it off.
And really, truly, if you can't defend yourself, right, and you think, oh, non-violence is my way, it's because you have no choice. You know, meaning, when you can defend yourself, you know, you project yourself differently, and you can choose not to. And here's the deal. Let's say that you confront me and I rear end you, and you get out of the car and you're upset and you're angry and you're heated. And let's just say I have no confidence in myself. I'm going to respond one of two ways. Okay, either I'm going to respond fearful, or I'm going to rage back. Okay, neither one of those is going to elicit the response I want for a peaceful resolution. If I respond fearful and you have aggressive, if you're a predator, then oh man, you love this, right?
Yes.
And
feed on that.
Or if I'm aggressive back, chances are we got two guys butting heads. However, if I look at you and think, you know what, I don't want to have to fight this guy, but I could if I had to, right?
Sure.
It allows me to be calm and centered, and then I can say, hey buddy, sorry about that, man. And you know, it didn't mean to, my fault, we'll take care of it with insurance, but you can feel my confidence. What I'm really also saying is, hey, let's not go any further because I'm not afraid of you. And there's a certain, that transcends a lot of challenges, and so that's why once again I said earlier, practice the fight so you don't have to. So that's one of those intrinsic benefits of martial arts.
Well, I think that, you know, that it exudes into your lifestyle and relationships, in your work, you know, to have that inner confidence. Sure. It's so important in that physical training. So you said to have a mindset. Is there something that you do to get centered? You talked about your focus on your time and your reading and things. Is there something that you do to get into that state? And do you do that on a daily basis? Or?
Absolutely. It's two extremes, really. I like it the yin and yang. So one is I like intense exercise, right? And any exercise is better than no exercise. And I like a slow stroll, that's fine in the park, a fast run, but you know, a short, intense exercise, right? So that you really get your heart, you know, gets that, you know, your heart pumping, right? That endorphin rush. And then the extreme, calm, contemplative breathing or meditation. So those two extremes for me kind of help me find my center. So I do both every day.
So the yin and the yang,
yes,
that's so important, because sometimes a person maybe is just intensively exercising, but they don't take time to center the mind. I see that a lot with patients is where they might be in a meditative state and they're just at that lower energy, but yet they don't increase their intensity.
So if I look at emotion, a scale of human emotion, think of it, if you were to put 4 quadrants, now there's more than 4 emotions, but if you think high positive would be enthusiastic, excited, energetic, right?
Yeah.
High negative is raged, angry, okay? Low negative is depressed, lethargic. Low positive is calm, relaxed, soothing. So the trick is to stay on the high side as best you possibly can, but you can't always stay up. So if you want to be high positive, what you have to do is you have to allow yourself, and that's where most people don't do, is they don't allow themselves to low positive, which is, you know, that relaxation. That's the part that the average person, we pride ourselves in getting by on not lots of sleep. And if you're getting through the day, the only way to get through every day is with a Red Bull in the afternoon, there's something wrong with what you're doing. And so it's kind of like, you know, I find what's incredibly powerful is I meditate a couple times a day and I take a nap every afternoon. It's a very short nap, but just that time to kind of let myself just relax. And all of a sudden then I'm recharged and I can go later on in the evening for hours.
You know, it's interesting to say that. There was an article in a magazine, health magazine for doctors, and it was talking about the afternoon nap and how important that was to get your brainwave pattern into a lower state at a certain time of the day, somewhere between 10 and 2 when your energy is high, but to actually calm it down. And it helps your heart health, it helps your brain health. So that's interesting that you say that. The cool thing about what you just said, I don't know if you got all those amazing strategies right there, but I mean, you've thought this ahead of time. You've proactively looked at the high energy, the low energy, and you look at them as quadrants. You break it into something that you can conceptually put into play. It's not like hit and miss. You have a strategy, you have a formula, you have a rhythm that you do, and I think that's the thing that is so important, because people in today's world are all over the place, and that's creates stress.
So you know what I experience is that, you know, like I've had my share and still do have my share of high negatives, right? When maybe I'm more upset than I should be. And I think the key for me, you can't always control your emotion, but if you can acknowledge and accept the emotion with which you're experiencing, like if you can get to, wow, I'm really angry right now, if you can objectify that, that's the first step of controlling it. And if you can do that, then all of a sudden you can keep yourself from saying or do something you might regret later on, right? And that's, you know, that's a lifetime lesson. But I heard a quote one time. It goes like this: never make an important decision when you're angry or upset. It's like letting a coward lead your army. And I love that, right?
Yes.
It's like, so you find yourself in that high negative. You can just go, whoa, a sec, this is not good. Let me take some breaths. And so anytime you have any important life-changing or decision, you know, the more time you can really, you want to do that when you're at your best, not when you're in a disempowering state, because you're never going to make the right decision. And we've all done it. We've all done things, you know, in a temporary bad mood that affected a long-term situation.
Well, what you just said, from, you know, I look at everything from 4 quadrants of the brain and the different levels. That's so powerful from a neurology coming from that level. If you're in a stressful state, you're in that lower reptilian instinctive brain, you're going to do something you're going to regret later on.
Right.
And your memory's not good, your instinctive action is just to fight or run away from it, let alone to calm yourself, center. You use a higher level of that prefrontal cortex, that higher executive part of your brain, and if you can catch yourself, go to that level of the brain, you're actually using it appropriately. It's like changing the channel on a TV. You've got this fight going on. I don't like that. You just, you know, change it. That's what I look at. I'm going to change the channel to the most positive, proactive decision. So it's cool to see how you put that into play, and I always look at it from a neurology point of view. Yeah. So, you know, if we can use our brain more effectively, but most people just let it run itself. Our mind is not our brain.
Yeah,
our mind runs our brain.
Got it.
And so we've got to realize that having control of our mind is powerful.
Yeah, totally. And you know, the one thing for me that, like, at the end of the day that I need to remind myself about, that it puts everything in perspective, is really, and it's so cliche, but an attitude of gratitude. You know, there's so often, probably 97% of your life and my life is going right, but sometimes we focus on that 3%. And we don't take time to go, wow, man, you know.
Look at what we have. We're here at a sunrise. I mean,
and you know, breakfast is ready for us, and you know, and it's kind of like it sound, and so often we get carried up in that, and we don't just go, man, I've got it pretty good, you know, and that, when I can get myself in that mindset, then it always what makes the days better.
So some of the strategies that are so important in looking at what has happened already today. It's sunrise here along the river. You know, started out with some qigong. You did a very powerful, intensive exercise routine with your black belt instructors, and that's what you do on a regular, consistent basis. You set certain systems into certain times of the day that I believe has created this master mindset. But you did it. You took back and stepped back and look at what do I need to do to get the most out of my day. And that's what I respect you the most.
Well, thank you, and you've for that. And you know, I heard a line. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Tony Robbins. Is more people spend time planning their vacation than they do their life, right? Yes. It's so true, man. Yeah. And the trick is I think the key for all of us is to live on purpose. You know, like okay, what, how do you know if you had a good day or not? What can you do to, what constitutes a good day that's realistic? You know, and so. I think we never quite get it right, but hopefully we just make the mistakes less and less.
I just got to share something. I remember a picture, because my kids had just started martial arts, and we were somewhat involved with Tony Robbins. I saw a picture of you. Jun Rhee was presenting the black belt to Tony Robbins when he got it in Hawaii, and you had your arm with Tony Robbins there
I was
presenting.
there that day, yes.
So what a cool thing. What's that? You know,
it was 4th of July, 1989.
Yeah.
And I was up on stage with two of my mentors at high-level martial arts, Grandmaster Jun Rhee and Grandmaster Ernie Reyes, and I'm kind of Where's Waldo. It's a pretty famous picture, and you'll see one guy 2/3 of a face in the background. You know, that was me there, but it was a pretty powerful day. Yeah.
Did you ever think that when you started martial arts that all these transitions would happen?
And life unfolds beautifully, and it has its challenges. We all have them, but you know, at the end of the day, it's amazing. You know, if you do the best you can to be in the flow and treat people right, and of course work hard, all the Western stuff that we know to do that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that just kind of that trust in the universe that you know if my intentions are honorable and I'm going to treat people fairly, and you look at things as win-win situation. You know, if your interaction, the cool thing is one of our mastery mindsets is I bring value to all my relationships. So if I'm going to interact with you, hopefully when I leave, I'm a better person, you're a better person. You know?
What a great thing. Yeah. Knowing you through the years, you've just continued to grow and thrive. And so where do you see yourself? Do you have any major thing? How would you like to best be remembered?
Well, I honestly, I'm just kind of, I love what we're doing and where we're going, and I don't know, I don't really know what I'd do if I were ever retired. And so, you know, I want to stay relevant, and what that is amount to is to make sure that you got to continue to be educated. Like, so for me, like I really got to understand technology. I was one of those guys, smartphone. Well, I realize if I want to be relevant in this universe, I got to understand what's going on there. So my goal, and I can do a way better job, is to be a forever learner, you know, to continue to study and grow and not ever feel like I know it all. And one of the things, like with martial arts, I've been training my whole life, and I have rank in several styles, and I'm very proud of that. I'd like to think I never went after the rank. I just enjoy training, right? But and so someone that doesn't know martial arts must think, man, you know a lot. Well, relatively speaking, but there's so much more. Like, I'm still just a beginner.
It's a vast universe of things you can learn.
Yes.
So, in looking at some closing, are there any things that you might want to recommend to a person to maybe start? Maybe their life is kind of all over the place, and they need to get centered. They maybe start to master their mindset.
You know, I would look at several different things. Once again, what we mentioned earlier about taking care of the days and years, take care of themselves, is really mind, body, spirit. So, you know, what are you doing to cultivate mind from the sense of like education? So much research, and you know more about this than me, that goes into someone, getting old gracefully as they're learning, right?
Yes.
Body, what are you doing? You know, I'm amazed by how many really smart people have a disconnect by how they treat their body and their level of health. They can't figure out, gee, I'm sick, what's wrong? You know, but they treat themselves like crap, right? And so our ability to really eat right, exercise, get enough rest, which is often, neglected, right? We pride versus really trying to get enough sleep. And then spirit, what are you doing to cultivate through both, meditation and, inspiring reading, whatever that might, whatever your connection is, right? And so I think that's, and you start small. You start small. If you're not doing some things you should, like say your diet really is bad, maybe you don't try to go cold turkey and be a raw vegan right away. Maybe you just eliminate soda and start drinking water. Maybe that's the first step, right? And you haven't exercised for years, maybe you just get up 5 minutes early and walk around the block and do 5 push-ups. And you start small, so you build success and you develop discipline. And we have a concept called my word is law. That is, you make a small commitment and you stick to it. And then as your self-discipline improves, then you build up your challenges.
Powerful. I mean, you could probably watch this interview several times and get different strategies. And I look at it from a neurology point of view, and you're doing all the right stuff. You for your brain, for your body, mind, and spirit. In our interviews, we talk about team, how you're thinking, how you're eating, how you're acting, and your adjustments to that, and how you're moving your body. So if you're thinking, eating, and moving your body consistently in all those different levels, you're creating a healthier brain and nervous system. I thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
This is a glorious location here. We just wanted to take a little time.
The sun is rising.
Sun is rising,
as we speak. Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate it. If they wanted to get in touch with you or find out more about you, what would that be? How would they get a hold of you?
Yeah. So probably kovarsystems.com would probably be the way they could go to a website that has a lot of our information on what we do. And I also have a program called the Satori Challenge, and go to satorichallenge.com, and it's a kind of a mind, body, spirit home training program. The best way to describe it would be Mr. Miyagi meets Tony Robbins at farmer's market for a P90 export guy. And it's pretty powerful, and it's a way that someone can kind of put these concepts to action.
Well, I know of the Satori Challenge.
You helped me design some of the workouts.
Exactly. So that would be an awesome place to start. I would agree. I'll make sure we have a link on our site so they can go to that. So thank you.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
All right. You're always a pleasure.
You are a master. Thank you.